You've been to networking events. You've collected business cards. You've connected with people on LinkedIn. And somehow, nothing happens. No opportunities. No real relationships. No doors opening. Meanwhile, there are people who walk into a room and within 6 months, they have investors, mentors, clients, and partnerships that would take you 10 years to build. What do they know that you don't? Today, I'm revealing the 13 laws of elite networking, the strategies that powerful people use but never explicitly teach. These aren't the surface-level tips you've heard before. These are Machiavellian principles of strategic relationship building that the top 1% guard closely. By the end of this video, you'll understand how the game is really played, and you'll never walk into a room the same way again. Let's get into it. Before we dive in, I need to say something critical. These laws work. They give you real power in building influential networks. But power without ethics is just manipulation. Use these strategies to build genuine, mutually beneficial relationships. Use them to add value and create opportunities for everyone involved. Use them to protect yourself from those who network with selfish intent. Do not use them to exploit people's trust, extract value without giving any back, or manipulate your way into circles where you don't belong for purely selfish gain. The most powerful networks are built on genuine value exchange, not deception. Keep that at the core of everything. Now, let's talk about why most people fail at networking completely. Most people think networking is about collecting contacts, about meeting as many people as possible, about having a big LinkedIn list. Wrong. Elite networkers understand something fundamental. Your network isn't about quantity. It's about strategic positioning within power structures that already exist. You're not trying to know everyone. You're trying to know the right people who can connect you to everyone else. You're not trying to be liked by the masses. You're trying to be valuable to the few who matter. Most people network wide. Elite networkers network deep and strategic. Think about it like this. Would you rather have 500 casual contacts who barely remember your name, or 10 powerful relationships where those people would actually go out of their way to help you? The second option, every time. Because those 10 people have their own networks, and when they vouch for you, you get access to hundreds more. Let me show you the 13 laws that make this happen. Law number 1, enter with status, not as a beggar. Here's what most people do wrong immediately. They approach networking like they're asking for favors. They're seeking, they're needy, they're trying to get something from someone more successful. And successful people can smell that desperation instantly. It repels them. Elite networkers flip this completely. They enter every room, every conversation, every relationship with the frame that they have something valuable to offer. Not arrogance, not bragging, just the genuine confidence that comes from knowing you can add value. Real scenario. You're at a conference. You see someone you want to connect with, someone influential in your industry. Most people approach like this. Hi, I'm nobody important, but I really admire your work. Could I pick your brain sometime? I'd love your advice on breaking into this field. Someone who wants their time and expertise with nothing to offer in return. Elite approach. Hi, I'm Name. I work on specific thing. I saw your presentation on topic. The point you made about specific detail was fascinating. I've been researching something adjacent to that, and I'd be curious to hear your take on specific question that shows you know the field. See the difference? You're not asking for mentorship. You're engaging as a peer, even if you're not at their level yet. You're demonstrating competence and making the conversation interesting for them. Most people approach networking as subordinates seeking charity. Elite networkers approach as equals offering value. The frame you set in the first 30 seconds determines everything that follows. Set it wrong, and you're just another person trying to extract value. Set it right, and you've created the foundation for a real relationship. Law number 2. Give before you ask, but strategically. Everyone tells you to add value first. That's not wrong, but it's incomplete. You can't just spray value everywhere hoping someone notices. Elite networkers give strategically. They identify what the powerful person actually needs, not what they think they need, and they provide it before being asked. Here's the key. Powerful people don't need generic help. They need specific, high-leverage solutions to problems they're actively facing. Real scenario. You meet a successful entrepreneur who mentions in conversation that they're trying to break into the European market but don't have good contacts there. Most people, "Oh, that's interesting. Good luck with that." Elite networker. Within 48 hours, you send them an email with 3 specific contacts in Europe who are relevant to their business. With a brief note on why each connection makes sense, you've already made the introduction on their behalf. You didn't ask for anything. You just solved a problem. Now, when you need something, they remember you as someone who delivers value without being asked. Most people offer vague assistance. Elite networkers provide specific, actionable solutions to real problems. But here's the nuance. Don't become the person who's always doing favors and never asking for anything. That's not strategic, that's being used. The sequence is: give value, build credibility. Then when you need something, you've earned the right to ask. And they'll actually want to help because reciprocity is hardwired into human psychology. Law number 3. Master the art of the soft ask. When you do need something, never make it a hard ask. Never put someone in a position where they have to say yes or no directly. Elite networkers use soft asks requests that are easy to fulfill and don't feel like heavy obligations. Instead of, "Can you introduce me to your investor? I'm trying to learn more about the venture capital space. Do you know anyone who might be willing to chat with me about their experience for 15 minutes? The first is asking for a specific high-value introduction that requires them to vouch for you. The second is asking for information, which is lower stakes and easier to say yes to. And here's what happens. If they like you, they'll often exceed your request. They might introduce you to their investor anyway, but you made it easy for them to help you without pressure. Real scenario. You want to work at a specific company. You know someone who works there. Bad approach. "Hey, can you refer me for this job? I really need it." Elite approach. "I'm really interested in company. I've been studying their approach to specific thing. Would you have 10 minutes to tell me what the culture is actually like there? I'm trying to figure out if it's the right fit." Not a referral, but if the conversation goes well, they might offer to refer you themselves. And even if they don't, you've learned valuable information and maintained the relationship. Most people make demands that create obligation. Elite networkers make requests that invite generosity. The soft ask removes pressure, maintains relationship equity, and often gets you better results because people feel like they're choosing to help rather than being guilted into it. Law number 4. Control the follow-up timing. Most people either follow up too quickly, seeming desperate, or wait too long and lose momentum entirely. Elite networkers understand timing psychology. After meeting someone valuable, don't reach out the next day. That screams, "I need something from you urgently." But don't wait 3 weeks either. They'll forget who you are. The sweet spot, 3-5 days later, long enough to not seem needy, recent enough that they remember the conversation. And here's what you say in that follow-up. Not just checking in or wanted to stay in touch. Those are empty. Reference something specific from your conversation. Provide additional value related to what you discussed. Make the follow-up meaningful. Real scenario. You met someone at a conference who mentioned they're struggling with hiring the right team. Follow-up message 4 days later. "Hi, name. Really enjoyed our conversation at event about the challenges of building teams in industry. After we talked, I came across this article on specific topic related to your conversation. Thought you might find it interesting. Hope their project you discussed is going well. You're reminding them who you are, showing you are actually listening, and providing value without asking for anything. Most people follow up with empty pleasantries. Elite networkers follow up with substance that reinforces their value. Law number 5. Position yourself in the network gaps. Here's a secret about powerful networks. They're not evenly distributed. There are gaps, areas where two valuable groups don't naturally intersect. Elite networkers identify these gaps and become the bridge. Let me explain. Say you work in tech, but you also have deep knowledge of healthcare. Most tech people don't know healthcare people. Most healthcare people don't know tech people. You become incredibly valuable because you can broker introductions, translate between industries, and spot opportunities that neither side sees. Real scenario. You know developers who are looking for clients. You also know small business owners who need digital solutions but don't know where to start. You connect them. You facilitate deals. You become known as the person who knows people. In both circles. Suddenly, both groups need you. Your value isn't just what you know. It's who you can connect to whom. Most people stay in one network bubble. Elite networkers position themselves at the intersection of multiple valuable networks. This is called structural holes in network theory. The people who fill these holes have disproportionate power because they control information flow between groups. Law number 6. Collect social proof before you need it. Here's something nobody tells you about networking with powerful people. They won't take you seriously unless other powerful people already do. It's circular logic, and it's brutal. But it's reality. Elite networkers solve this by building credibility at their current level before reaching for the next level. If you want to network with industry leaders, first become known among mid-level professionals. Get testimonials. Get referrals. Build case studies. Create content that demonstrates expertise. Then, when you approach someone powerful, you're not coming in cold. You have proof that you're leg. Itimate. Real scenario. You want to connect with a top executive at a major company. Weak approach. Cold email with your resume. Elite approach. You've already worked with 3 of their employees or partners. You reference those relationships in your outreach. I've worked with name and name on project, and they mentioned you might be interested in topic. You just borrowed credibility from the relationships you've already built. Now you're not a random person. You're someone who's already been validated by people they trust. Most people try to jump levels without building credibility first. Elite networkers climb strategically, using each level as proof for the next. Law number 7. Create scarcity around your time and attention. This is going to sound counterintuitive, but here it is. The more available you are, the less valuable you appear. Elite networkers are selective about who they spend time with. Not because they're arrogant, but because their time is actually limited, and they protect it fiercely. When someone powerful reaches out, don't immediately say, "Yes, I'm free anytime." That signals your time isn't valuable. Instead, "I'd love to chat. Let me check my calendar. I have availability next Thursday at 2 p.m. or Friday at 10 a.m. Does either work? You're showing that your time is structured and valuable. You're making them work slightly to meet with you. Real scenario. Someone asks if you want to grab coffee to pick your brain. Weak response. Sure. When and where? I'm flexible. Elite response. I'm pretty booked this week, but I could do 30 minutes on Thursday if that works. Want to meet at specific place at specific time? Not open-ended. Specified the details, taking control of logistics, and communicated that your schedule is full but you're making room for them. Most people appear too available. Elite network Curs create the perception of scarcity, which increases perceived value. Now, a critical ethical point here. This isn't about playing games or being fake busy. If you actually have free time, use it productively. Work on your skills, your projects, your content. Make yourself legitimately busy with valuable activities. The scarcity is real. You're just communicating it effectively. Law number 8. Never compete, collaborate, or dominate. Here's a mistake I see constantly. People position themselves as competitors to the very people they should be networking with. You're in a room with someone who does similar work to you. Most people either ignore them, avoiding the competition, or try to subtly one-up them in conversation, proving they're better. Both approaches fail. Elite networkers see 3 options: collaborate if you're at a similar level, or position yourself in a completely different category if you're at different levels. Real scenario: you're a marketing consultant. You meet another marketing consultant at an event. Weak approach: treat them like competition. Keep your strategies secret. Try to steal their clients. Suddenly put down their work. Elite approach: we should talk. I specialize in specific niche. You specialize in different niche. I get clients who need your expertise all the time. Want to set up a referral relationship? You're expanding both of your businesses instead of fighting over the same scraps. Most people see others in their field as threats. Elite networkers see them as potential collaborators or complementary specialists. And if you're at genuinely different levels, say you're junior and they're senior, don't compete at all. Learn from them. Add value where you can. Position yourself as someone they'd want on their team, not as a threat to their position. Law number 9. Deploy social currency strategically. Social currency is anything that makes someone look good by association with you. Information, connections, access, ideas. Elite networkers understand that you don't just have monetary value, you have social value. And sometimes social value is worth more. Here's how this works. You have information someone else needs. You could sell it as a service, or you could give it to them strategically as social currency, knowing they'll owe you a bigger favor later. Real scenario. You discover that an industry conference is happening that would be perfect for someone in your network, but registration is closed. You have a contact who can get people in. Option 1. Keep that information to yourself. Option 2. Tell your contact about it and offer to make the introduction to your conference contact. You've just given them valuable social currency access they couldn't get otherwise. They're now in debt to you. And that debt is worth more than whatever you could have charged. Most people only think in terms of monetary value. Elite networkers understand social debt is often more powerful. But here's the ethical line. Don't weaponize social debt. Don't keep score in a manipulative way. The goal is mutual benefit over time, not extracting maximum value from every favor. Law number 10. Master the introduction game. Introductions are the most valuable currency in networking. But most people do them terribly. They'll say, "You two should meet," with no context, or they'll make introductions that serve only themselves, forcing 2 people to connect who have nothing to gain from knowing each other. Elite networkers make surgical introductions. They only connect people when there's clear, mutual value, and they frame the introduction to make both parties excited about meeting. Here's the formula. Person A, meet person B. Person A is the best I know at specific thing relevant to person B. Person B is working on specific thing relevant to person A. I thought you two should know each other because specific reason that benefits both. Real scenario. You know a startup founder looking for a marketing expert. You also know a marketing expert looking for startup clients. Bad introduction. Hey, you two are both in my network. You should connect. Elite introduction. Sarah, meet Mark. Sarah just raised a Series A and is scaling customer acquisition. She's looking for someone who really understands growth marketing in the B2B SaaS space. Mark, Sarah's company is exactly the stage and industry you specialize in. I think there could be great fit here. I'll leave you two to chat. You've highlighted what each brings to the table. You've made it easy for them to start the conversation. Most people make random introductions. Elite networkers make strategic introductions that create clear value for everyone involved. And here's the bonus. When you consistently make great introductions, people start coming to you asking for connections. You become a power broker. Law number 11. Exit gracefully from every interaction. How you leave a conversation is just as important as how you enter it. Most people either linger too long, overstaying their welcome and becoming annoying, or leave abruptly and awkwardly, making the other person feel dismissed. Elite networkers master the graceful exit. They leave conversations at the peak, when both parties are still engaged and wanting more. Why? Because you want them to remember the conversation positively and want to continue it later. If you drain the conversation completely, there's nothing left for next time. Real scenario. You're having a great conversation with someone valuable at a networking event. You could keep talking for another 30 minutes. Don't. After 10-15 miles, newts of quality conversation. This has been great. I don't want to monopolize your time since I know you have other people to meet. Let's definitely continue this conversation. Can I grab your contact info? You've ended on a high note. You've shown respect for their time. You've expressed genuine interest in continuing, and you've left them wanting more instead of relieved that you finally left. Most people don't know when to end conversations. Elite networkers leave when both parties are still engaged, creating anticipation for next time. Law number 12. Play the long game. This is the law that separates amateurs from masters. Elite networkers think in years, not months. You're not trying to get something from every person you meet immediately. You're building a network that will compound in value over time. Some of your most valuable connections won't pay off for years. You meet someone when you're both junior. You stay in touch. 5 years later, they're in a position of power. And they remember you. Real scenario. You're in your late 20s. You meet other professionals your age at various events. Most people ignore peers and only try to network with established people above them. Elite networkers invest heavily in peer relationships, because in 10 years, those peers will be the leaders. And if you built genuine relationships when none of you had power, those bonds are stronger than any relationship you try to build later when they're successful. Most people only network upward to people who can help them now. Elite networkers network in all directions, knowing that today's peers are tomorrow's power players. I know someone who's now a wildly successful entrepreneur. 20 years ago, he spent time helping a broke artist who couldn't pay him. That artist eventually became a famous designer. When my friend launched his company, that designer did all his branding for free and introduced him to investors. 20-year return on relationship investment. That's how elite networkers think. Law number 13. Be undeniable at your core craft. Here's the final law, and it's the one people overlook. All the networking strategy in the world doesn't matter if you're not actually good at what you do. Elite networkers understand that their network amplifies their skills. It doesn't replace them. If you're mediocre at your craft, your network might get you one opportunity, but you'll blow it and word will spread. In high-level circles, reputations travel fast. But if you're exceptional at what you do, your network becomes a force multiplier. People want to work with you. They refer you. They champion you. Because associating with you makes them look good. Real scenario. Two people have the same network connections, similar backgrounds, Similar opportunities. Person A is a decent designer, fine work, nothing special. Gets a project through a connection, delivers okay results, doesn't get referred again. Person B is an exceptional designer, truly outstanding work. Gets a project through a connection, blows them away with the results, gets referred to 3 more clients, gets invited to collaborate on bigger projects, builds a reputation as the designer people fight to work with. Same network, different outcomes. Because skill compounds through networks in ways that mediocrity never can. Most people think networking is about who you know. Elite networkers understand networking is about who knows what you're capable of. Your network can open doors, but your skills keep them open and open new ones. So while you're building your network, never stop building your craft. Be so good that when people vouch for you, you make them look smart for the introduction. Let me bring this all together. Elite networking isn't about collecting busy nest cards or having thousands of LinkedIn connections. It's about strategic relationship building with the right people at the right time in the right way. Enter with status. Give strategically before asking. Master the soft ask. Control follow-up timing. Position yourself in network gaps. Build social proof at your level before jumping to the next. Create scarcity around your time. Collaborate instead of competing. Deploy social currency wisely. Make surgical introductions. Exit gracefully. Play the long game and be undeniable at your craft. These 13 laws separate people who network from people who build empires. But remember, and this is critical, use these strategies ethically. Build real relationships based on genuine mutual value. Don't manipulate people's trust. Don't extract value without giving back. Don't burn bridges for short-term gain. The most powerful networks are built on authentic value exchange over time, not exploitation. If you apply even 3 of these laws consistently over the next year, you'll see your network and your opportunities transform completely. If this video changed how you think about networking, hit that like button and subscribe for more strategic psychology content. Drop a comment. Which of these 13 laws surprised you the most? Or which one are you going to implement first? And remember, your network isn't just who you know. It's who knows you're worth knowing. Now go build something powerful.